I need a new... Ziffy, I need a new banner. We need a new banner. Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you've all had a super fantastic, sparkling Magic Monday. It's been a very busy day. Can you see my suitcases? They were little bags this morning, but look at them now, they're suitcases. It's been a very long day. I feel like I got punished for being out last week. When I was working on the help desk, I was like, what the hell is going on? There were some crazy people out there. There were some really good people out there. I had a lot of fun with some really good people, but there were a couple of wackos out there. But I'm not going into details on those. Just know that sometimes you have a day where it's just sort of like, are these people serious? But that's okay. It's all part of life. It's all part of the story. So, Magic Monday, this morning we talked about telling your story and why you should tell your story for your future generations that come along and see you and go, oh, what did you do? What did you get up to? What was it like living in your time? What was it like going to school? So I've decided that each day for the next few days, weeks, something like that, that we will have a question of the day that will be like a writing prompt for you. So our question for today is, what was our question for today? I know now. I remember. Our question for today. I'm sorry. It's been a very long day. Our question for today is, what is your earliest memory? What is your earliest memory? Think about that. What is your earliest memory? How old were you? Where were you? What was happening? What is your earliest memory? My mom's told me lots of stories over the years about me when I was a kid, but my actual earliest memory, I was about 2, and we were renting a place at the time, and it had a carport on it, and I remember sitting on my little bike and riding around and swinging on the pole around the carport. So I remember that, and I was probably about 2. And my mum actually has pictures of me on that little bike. But I remember that little bike, and I remember playing in the carport area where the car usually parks and that sort of stuff. So that's one of my earliest memories. I was probably around 2 at the time. I can't remember. But that's my earliest memory. What is your earliest memory? But what was magical about your Monday today? What made it exciting and unforgettable for you? And did you tell part of your story today? Did you start writing your story? It doesn't matter what order you write your story in, as long as you get down. You can rearrange it later on. Like if you're writing down things that happened to you last week, and then you suddenly think, oh, that reminds me of that time that we went on this trip, and start, every time you go into a different time zone or a different location, when you go, if you're busy telling them about something that you experienced last week, like you could have got caught in a flood or a tornado or something like that. I was just thinking of all the heavy rain that came down a week ago on Sunday here, and we're driving back in the flooded waters and stuff. When you think of that and that reminds you of another time, start a new page. So the start of every page, so that you have that starting point in there, because that starting point that could be a new chapter, and it helps you rearrange everything later on. So if you want to put it into chronological order at a later date, you're able to do that. You can go back, you can type it and get somebody to type it up, you can type it up yourself, whatever it is, but always start a new page with a new story. Don't start one that blends, that reminds me of the time that da-da-da-da-da. No, go to the top of the next page and start writing that new story. So how many of you actually did get started writing your stories today? I wanted to, but I kept getting interrupted. I had a lot of work to catch up on from my week off work last week, while I was at my genealogy class. It felt really weird this morning not getting online till 8 o'clock this morning. That was a whole half hour later. I was like, wow, what do I do with myself? But it was good to be back. It was good to be back, and I'm grateful for the people that were able to cover, the 2 women that were able to cover for me last week. Very, very grateful for them. So just must remember to send them something. Don't know what, but I'll send them something. And what else did we get up to? So yes, it's just been a very busy day of catch up. I have one client that I work for where there's a whole bunch of stuff they sent me last week to do, so I now have to prioritize it and get moving on that. And then I've been on the help desk practically the whole day, and it's just been constant. It wasn't until I didn't get lunch till 4:30 this afternoon, so an hour and a half ago I finally got lunch. Yes, I could have gotten up and gone and got lunch and just ignored the beeps on the thing, but the problem with the beeps is that it wasn't just beep. 5 minutes later you get another beep. It was like beep, 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 beep. And I didn't want to take 30 minutes and then come back and find there was like 30 calls or something, 30 chats. But so I just it literally was I just got in the zone, and we talked about it this weekend about being in the zone. I just got in the zone with those calls. I totally was not taking notice of time until I was sort of like, wow, I feel really weird. And I looked up and it was 4:30, and I'm like, oh, I haven't had lunch. And I go to pick up my bottle of water to take a drink, and it was empty. It's like, when the hell did I empty it? So at some point, I had been getting up at times and going to the bathroom and filling up my water bottle, but I'd totally forgotten to eat. Totally forgot about that. I would just get up, go to the bathroom, fill up the water bottle, come sit back down, and I was like literally back in the zone again, getting this stuff done, getting done what needed to get done. And then it was like, oh, I've got to get up and go to the bathroom and get up, go to the bathroom, come fill up the water bottle, come back again. And it wasn't until I started feeling like really woozy and stuff that I looked at the clock and it was 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm like, oh, did I have lunch today? I was so in the zone, I've literally forgot to eat. I'm sort of like, yeah, that's not going to happen again. Not going to happen again. It's going to have little alarm clocks going off. And if they have to wait 5 minutes while I grab something to eat, then they can wait 5 minutes while I grab something to eat. But it's not very often that I end up on the help desk by myself for a day. So it was a very busy day, and I just got in the zone and just kept going and thought there's some crazy people out there. And at the same time, there were a lot more good people than there were crazy people. So it was a day full of variety that kept me interested. I stayed in the zone and I just got stuff done. I still have a lot more stuff to catch up on, but that's okay. We will be working through it all. But you know, it's all part of the story. It's all part of life. So what was magical about your Monday today? What story did you tell today? And your question for the day, I'm probably going to give these in the morning so you get the day to think about them. But I'm going to give you today's question today. I decided to start it today because it's my show. I can do what I like. So your question for the day is, what is your earliest memory? How old were you? Where were you? What were you doing? What was your earliest memory that you have? Your earliest memory. So that's your homework for this evening. Go write down what your earliest memory is, or record it on video, record it by voice, whatever it is. Get it out of your memory. Get it down on paper. Get it onto, record it on a little hoodookie, voice recorder. Little hoodookie. Yeah, this little thing here, this little voice recorder thing. I like this little thing. Record it on a voice memo on your phone. Whatever you do, record in some way, electronically, pen and paper. Pen and paper always works really, really well. Just have a notebook and just get a notebook and just write these ideas down as they come into you, and write about your first memory. What is the very first memory that you have of stuff that you actually experienced? What did you experience? How old were you? What were you doing? And was this a very clear memory, or is it something that somebody has told you over time? So, you always get those photos that you can go back to and have a look. But tonight I just want to know, what is your earliest memory? So go write about that this evening. We're going to start writing your story just by asking you a question a day. That's it. I'm going to give you a question a day for you to think about during the day, write about it at night. Although today we're kind of shortchanging you a little bit and just giving you the question this evening. So that's your discussion for dinner tonight. In fact, if you're a family that sits down and has dinner, have something like this handy, so that when you sit down to dinner, you can ask everybody else the question of the day. So you could ask the kids, what is your favorite memory, and get it recorded. just put that little record button on something like this, just sit it there on the table, because this one actually has a really good microphone on it. I don't even know if you can put an extended, I don't think you can put an extended microphone on it. Doesn't look like you can. But, you know, just get a digital record one, maybe one of the separate microphones so you can set it in the middle of the table or something. There's some really good ones out there. And just record what everybody's responses are. Make it a family game. You know, what's your earliest memory? And you'll be surprised at what comes up. Not only what comes up and gets discussed, but where it leads discussions as well into a whole slew of different types of memories and things, because it will trigger other memories. Just let the recorder go. Just let the family talk. Let them reminisce. And because there'll be a lot of laughter and tears shared around the time around the table as people remember different things. So go have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys back bright and early tomorrow for Tune Up Tuesday. So, yeah, it is Tuesday tomorrow, right? Yeah. Sorry, my brain it needs nourishment. I got to go nourish the brain. I've got about an hour before I have to walk Zeffy, so I've got plenty of time to get some food in me. But go have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll catch you back here bright and early tomorrow morning for Tune Up Tuesday. Hey, konara.